I'd like to take a moment to thank my channel members. Thank you. It's continued support like yours that keeps this channel growing. And if you haven't already, please consider joining today. Hello and welcome, I'm Bert The Stormtrooper, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers Bumblebee movie, Studio Series number 80, BRAWN, and I'm really excited about this one. This is one I've been looking forward to for quite some time. Released in the summer of 2022, this is brand new, starting to hit stores right now as of the time of this recording. I ordered mine from Amazon. It is a deluxe class figure that retails for approximately $25. So we can see here we've got the packaging. We got Transformers logo on the side, Studio Series number 80 Bumblebee movie logo, BRAWN. We got some really cool artwork of BRAWN right there in his robot mode. And we've got that window right there. Still got some plastic in there, so we can't touch the figure, but you can see that BRAWN is packaged in his vehicle mode. Across the top, Bumblebee movie logo. On this side, we've got Studio Series 80 and a close-up of BRAWN right there. Tells us it's a deluxe class figure. On this side, we got some more artwork of BRAWN right there. Transformers Authentic. And then on the back, big screen inspired, we can see Bumblebee, BRAWN. We got product shots of the figure both in his vehicle mode, in his robot mode, 18 steps for transformations, and the backdrop is included. That is about it for the packaging. Let's get him opened up and check it out. Out of the package, we get the Cybertron Backdrop. This is pretty much the same backdrop that we've been getting for all of these Bumblebee movie figures, the ones that we saw on Cybertron at the beginning of the movie at least. We've got BRAWN packaged in his robot mode. We got two weapons. We got a rifle, and then we got this drill piece right here, and we got the sheet of instructions. And here's BRAWN out of the package in robot mode, and I absolutely love this toy. Here in robot mode, BRAWN stands approximately 4 inches tall, about 4.5 if you go to the back of his hump here. So he's a little shorter for a deluxe. He's about the same size as Bumblebee. We'll get to see that a little better here when we get to comparisons. But he's a very cool, fun little figure, especially with the transformation. Not a lot of steps, but really interesting, and it's something that I've been saying a lot lately. It just really feels like the engineers are having a lot of fun figuring out new and interesting ways of getting these things to go from one form to another. Very, very cool. I love his design. You can see here, he looks very much like he did in that 1.5 seconds that he was in the Bumblebee movie, but also very true to his original design back from G1. So you can really kind of see like, okay, yeah, that is what BRAWN would have looked like on Cybertron. Very cool. You've got that mostly green body, or, well, I mean, it's kind of half and half, right? So you got about half of it is that orange. You got up here on the torso and down here on the feet, and then you got the green on the legs and on the shoulders right here. You got a nice bit of silver details on the forearms and on the hips right there, on the knees right here on the chest with his Autobot logo, and then of course in his head, and he's got that helmet right there, again very reminiscent of his G1 self, going all the way around. A very solid little figure, not a lot of hollow spots, really no hollow spots really. If you look at him, he's a pretty solid little dude. Very dynamic, very fun to pose. Articulation-wise, his head can go side to side. Can it go? No, it just goes side to side. There's no up and down. There's no ball joint there. So we only got side to side. The shoulders are in a ball joint, so you can go forward and backwards, in and out, all the way around. Rotation, you got a little bit of rotation up here at the upper shoulder. So there's some rotation up there. I think that's mostly due to transformation than for posing purposes, but it's there, so it can be used. There is a double hinge at the elbow, and there is rotation at the wrist, which is really nice. You have a rotation at the waist. The legs can go forward that far, back that far, in and out. Rotate right above the knee. You got to bend at the knee. You got a little bit of up and down on the toe, and you got ankle tilts. So there you go, a lot of possibility, and again, very dynamic little dude. I've been putting this dude in a lot of little poses, and he looks good in most of them. Really, really cool little dude. He's got a couple of weapons, so he does come with this drill piece here. This can be used as a melee weapon, which is kind of lame, honestly, if you ask me. That's a thing that you can do. And then he also comes with this rifle. This rifle is really nice. I'll give him that. Now, one thing you can do, a couple of things that you can do with these weapons. You can put the tip of the drill piece here on the tip of the rifle and just kind of give him like a big plasma rifle. That looks pretty cool. One thing that I personally like to do is there's a little port right there on the bottom of the drill, and there's a peg on the top of the weapon. So I like to put that there, and to me, this configuration looks best. And this just really looks like some kind of a space weapon kind of a thing. And let me see if I can get one of his quick poses. Check that out. I mean, again, like I said, he's very easy to pose, and he is very, very dynamic. He's very, very cool. Now, per the instructions, there is storage for him in robot mode, and simply all you're going to do is there's a little peg right here on the back. There's a little port right there on the side of the weapon, and you can just peg the weapon to the peg on his back, and that's supposed to be his weapon carry mode. Meh, but it's there. Personally, I liked doing... This has kind of been my favorite pose. This is the one that I've been doing the most. It's just some sort of like a ready pose, holding it over his shoulder kind of a thing, giving him a little twist right there. I just really like doing that a lot. Now, getting into transformation, real quick, like I said, the transformation is relatively simple, but it's a lot of fun. We're going to start right back here on the back. We're going to take this hump back right here and just flip this all the way up and over. We're going to take the wheel. This should have not come off yet, but we're going to take the wheels and we're going to pull those out just like that. We can take the head and we can push it down some, not all the way, but we are going to push it down some. Take the arms, rotate them so that the top of the shoulder blades are pointing down. Using this double hinge that I showed you earlier, we're going to bring the elbows in and then we're going to kind of angle them back out again. So they're kind of making like that kind of a Z kind of a thing. We're going to bring these in. And before I do, I want to show you these pegs up here. And there's a little port right there on the inside of the forearm. It's not going to like click in and just kind of grab it like you would imagine. But it is kind of like a guide. You know that the arm is in place when it falls in there. So that's where it needs to be. So it's more of a guide than like a joint, really. But it does help you figure out where the arms go, and it lets you know that the arms are in place once they're in there. So there you go. That's all set. We're going to take the hips right here. We're going to over to the waist. We're going to rotate them at the waist. Take the feet, turn them so that they're pointing inwards. And then we're going to take the shins and pull this out, and check this out. The back of the heel is going to go through or around that piece right there. That's going to come all the way over. And then we're going to take that tab and we're going to tab it into that slot right inside of the toe right there. And that's going to snap in place. So again, bring this all the way around, work that around, bring the toe up, snap it in place. And then we're going to bring these down. There is a tab here that's going to go into this slot here. And there's a tab here on the inside of the shin that's going to go into the outside of the wheel right there. So bring these up. Tab that there, and then tab that into the wheel. Same thing on this side. Tab the orange piece there, tab that into the wheel, and there we have BRAWN in his vehicle mode. And the vehicle mode is it's approximately 3.5 inches long, about 1.5 inches tall. So again, relatively small little vehicle, but this is a really cool little vehicle. It's like this little armored space tank kind of a thing, and I absolutely love these little space vehicle designs that they're giving us. They're very futuristic, they're very sci-fi, but they're also very kind of realistic to something you could imagine seeing this on like on a Mars mission or something like that. Very, very cool. He rolls really nicely. You can see you got a nice translucent windshield right there. The head is kind of tucked in back here in the whole engine compartment kind of a thing, but it's there, but we are going to do something to cover that up here in just a moment. But yeah, this was a very, very interesting transformation. I was really looking forward to this one. Now, there are a couple of things that we can do here. So again, we're going to use this peg on the back with a little port on the weapon, and we can mount that right there to kind of give them a kind of that armor mode or weaponized mode. Again, we can take the drill piece, we can mount it on the front. I think that looks really good for vehicle mode. That really looks like a space tank kind of a thing to me. And then, of course, you can also give him his drill mode. So we're going to leave this weapon up here. We're going to come down here. You see that port? We're going to plug in or drill to that port, and we're going to rotate this forward. And then mount that back in place. And that gives us the little drill mode for him, which I think is the perfect vehicle mode for him. That just looks so so cool. For comparison, here he is next to Ironhide. And so again, I just absolutely love these kind of like these futuristic sci-fi, but also somehow realistic looking space vehicles that we're getting here. This is absolutely something you could see like in a sci-fi movie or on a mission to Mars. This just looks really, really cool to me. I absolutely love these little vehicle modes that they're coming up with for the Cybertronian modes anyway, in this Cybertron, or in this Bumblebee movie. Because, you know, they didn't really give us any vehicle modes in the movie. We got to see them in robot mode, and for the most part, we got to see them for a second or two at best. We didn't really get to see what their vehicle modes would have looked like. So it's just really neat that they're coming up with some, you know, somewhat vehicle modes and space vehicle modes anyway for them. Something that we can have, right? And it is just really cool. Not only is it cool that they're coming up with the designs, but the fact that the designs they're coming up with are just so cool. They really are. They hit all the right spots for me. They check all the right boxes, because they do look, to me, they look like something you could see in a sci-fi movie, but they also look like something you could see in a real space mission. And that, to me, that just, again, it just checks all the right boxes for me. I'm really, really enjoying these vehicle modes for these figures that have been coming up here recently. Again, with Ironhide, absolutely love Ironhide's vehicle mode, and I absolutely love this guy. I'm really looking forward to the rest of the guys. Looking forward to Wheeljack, and I'm looking forward to Ratchet. You know, these are figures that I didn't think I was going to look forward to, and then here I am looking forward to them. Couple more comparisons real quick before we get out of here. Here he is with his G1 figure, so you can see, you know, we can see where we've been and we can see where we're going. You know where you're going by knowing where you've been, right? So there you go. So you can see what the two of them look like together. And then again, we're going to do a couple of comparisons here with the rest of, well, not the rest of, but some other Bumblebee movie figures. I don't know why this Bumblebee gives me so much trouble lately. I can't do anything with him without dropping him or without flinging him across the table and just completely untransforming him in the process. But as you can see, there you go. He is, BRAWN here is about the same size as Bumblebee was. So he is a smaller deluxe, where Ironhide is a little bit of on the bigger side of the deluxe scale. BRAWN is on the smaller size side along there with Bumblebee. So you can see what the four of them look like together. And again, absolutely love this lineup. I just think it looks so neat having all of these guys together. So yeah, again, these 1.5 second characters that we saw at the beginning of the movie, which I absolutely adored, were not figures that I thought I was going to want to go after. I thought they were neat, but I was like, yeah, they're neat. They're there. Not something I'm going to go after. I checked out Ironhide. Absolutely loved Ironhide. I was really interested in getting my hands on BRAWN because I really wanted to see how his transformation worked. And I'm really happy that I did, because he is just such a fun little dude. And now I'm looking forward to the rest of the lineup. So, yeah, I think that about does it for the Transformers Bumblebee movie Studio Series number 80, BRAWN. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.